What's up, everyone? Welcome to Serving Sunshine. I'm here with a big guest, a big name over here in the South Florida comedy scene, Mr. Casey Graves. Casey, I had a question for you. Do you have any pre-show rituals that you do? Are you superstitious at all before you go on stage?
I used to be, in the sense of I used to kind of drink something, have a drink, numb the nerves before I go on stage, but I would fumble the bag on what joke goes where because I would get too comfortable, and then it's a mess. I was like, no, I can't. And then you can't rely on alcohol alone to get you in the zone. So I was like, nah, that was a ritual. I'd have a little drink. The club would be like, hey, you get a couple of drinks on the house. You want something? I'm like, fuck yeah, give me a little Tito's, and then I was just like, nah. So then I started drinking energy drinks, and then I was like, too fucking. And I was like, how the fuck are we doing tonight? Hey, sorry. I hope they can hear me.
Can they really?
Yeah, I just messed up their Zen.
Yeah, these aren't soundproof. I mean, they should have done it somewhere else.
If you didn't know any better, if you didn't know they were here, you look like all of these people fell from that building. They're all laying down in crisscross applesauce.
It looks like a fucking
Just
cult.
way less blood.
It's like a cult.
Yeah, no, the blood, they cleaned it up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
They're all...
But I did notice that because for people who don't know, Casey is part of what we're doing over at 27. We're starting the comedy nights. We've already done 2 so far. But when I offered him a drink, he was like, no, I'm good. And you're the only comic that was like, no, I'm straight, actually.
I mean, it's a joke behind being showing up to work a little tipsy.
Yeah.
You don't. It's a business. At the end of the day, if you go up there, you gotta fucking execute. You gotta perform. That is if you get 5 minutes, if you get 10, if you get an hour, you don't go up there. No one's all right. Coolest thing I've seen is Ron White do what he does. If you know him, you guys know him?
No.
I'm not familiar with him.
He's the Comedy Mothership regular. He looks like an aged Brad Pitt, but from the South, like a straight up out of a cowboy movie, bad guy villain, badass.
So he sounds like the man.
He did the blue collar comedy tour. You know Larry the Cable Guy? You guys remember him?
Yeah.
He was a part of Jeff Foxworthy, Bill Engvall. He was a part of that. And he would always smoke a cigar on stage and drink a whiskey neat or whiskey straight with a big cube of ice. And then he would have to a point where he would have his own bottle and pour himself more drinks while he would go on stage and talk about doing coke on yachts and fucking whores and doing all this.
Oh my God.
And dude, he was together. You watch, I paid attention to the wrong things watching him, how far he would have the cigar before he would flick it, and then also how low the bottle of whiskey would get, and how he was just so together. But that's
so on point, yeah.
But if you're a trained alcoholic, you could train for an Ironman the way this guy drank, and he just doesn't miss. But some people, I can't, it's not for everybody.
Yeah, no.
I don't know if that answered a question.
It did.
Right.
So wait, how did you know you wanted to go into comedy? Because I know you started as wanting to be an actor in general.
Did the acting thing after FSU, did LA, and
Loved LA.
so much. I mean, I just couldn't get enough of the gloomy
Do you have any
skies.
fun stories from LA?
I have fun stories from LA. I have so many. A lot of just I don't know, just a lot of superficial bullshit though. When you go there, you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna. This is the entertainment world. Everyone thinks like that, and then all of a sudden you're making false friends. Everybody's got a new friend of the week, and you're like, oh my God, I love her. She's my best. I met this girl through acting school, and then all of a sudden she fell in love with all these people, and she acted like she knew them forever, but she's only known them for 3 or 4 days, or a week or 2, and they go to brunch, and they get sick of each other. And they fucking don't talk to each other. And then who's my new friend gonna be? And it's you come down here, everybody you establish a good investment. I kept comparing Florida to California.
Ooh, I don't think you can.
You could compare anything. You could compare
Well, I just feel
Apple
like-
to a homeless man.
Well, I
But
think
you
to your point though, like, I think to
We're
your
both rotting.
Thrown
No.
out. Yeah.
I think to your point though, like LA is very self-serving. Everybody's there to like promote themselves,
Right.
and so every interaction feels like a business transaction to get ahead at some point.
Yeah, that's exactly what it is. Everyone's
Let's just shit on LA.
what?
Let's just shit on LA.
No, I mean I'm just talking about
It's a cool place,
what's
but-
real, dude. Like you gotta go to know. You gotta when I first moved into LA, I was on Zillow. I was looking at apartments, and I was like, this looks cool. It's walking distance to a job. I worked walking distance to the LA Fitness that I worked at, so I could get a free membership and personal train all these people.
Oh, you really had it figured out when you went there, man.
You
That's
have
crazy.
to. You can't just go out there and be like, suitcase, nowhere to go. You'll be one with the homeless. There's no. You can't not have an executed plan. Even if you don't know, you still have to try to have an itinerary.
I think most people go out there thinking that though. Just, I'm gonna pack my shit up, go out there, and
Yeah.
if it happens, it
Be
happens.
that one in a
You'll win it,
million.
but
What are
went
you in
there.
a fucking movie?
Yeah.
I think so.
Doc, come on, get rid.
I think if you became homeless for like a month, you'd have a lot of good material. So I think you should go out there with maybe like, I don't know, a collared shirt, 2 pairs of jeans, and like some
Call it a
sneakers, and
day.
just figure it out.
All right, so-
you'd come up with a lot of shit.
I feel like he's done this.
It's funny you say that.
I knew it. I knew
It's
it.
funny you say this.
I was once a homeless man.
Yeah. So I had it. So when I went out there, I started acting, and I wanted to do the acting thing. So what do? Do it right. You got to go to the school. I went to this school. I went to. Yeah, I guess I can name drop. I went to Stella Adler. This is like one of the most. I mean, Robert De Niro went there. Fucking a bunch of people went.
Do you have to
there.
apply?
Well, you have to. You have
Like
to
audition?
No, you just walk up and they let you in.
No, I mean, like, now I'm trying to remember. I don't know if I had to. Yes, you had to send them some sort of monologue, some sort of something, and then they consider you based off of putting you into to see how far advanced you are.
Right.
And then they'll put you based off that, if memory serves me correct. Otherwise, they were just like, just give us a bunch of fucking money and then come in here. But regardless, I had this one teacher that was teaching us about method acting. I don't know if you guys know what that is.
It's like when you like put yourself in the character even when you're not in character.
Do you know what method acting is? Hunter, do you?
That's like what what's his
Is
face
it- am I
did
wrong?
for
Was
the
I wrong?
Joker.
You're
what-
kinda
Heath
right.
Ledger.
Ledger did.
Like
Yeah.
like even when you're not on camera, you're like playing the part.
So you're wording it right.
He
So-
should have thought.
I'm
of
wording
something
it right,
else.
but I'm wrong.
Well, so like think
Didn't
about
work
it.
out for Heath Ledger, but
Like
I think
method
it's working
acting
out for you.
is you no, because you're right, but it's like there's a little more to that, is what I mean. So
All right,
like,
expand. What I missed.
So you're basically you are that person, but the crazy part about being that person is you might be that person forever if you fucking go too far into it.
Oh yeah.
So
Okay.
you can't necessarily. I was watching this play, and this guy, it was about a guy who found love with a girl, and he was paralyzed from the waist down. I mean, couldn't feel anything. Wheelchair in the theater, and I was like talking to. Accidentally, I sat next to the director, and she would always get up and go on the mic and be like, "Wasn't that so brave?" And then like, "Here's the next act." And then all of a sudden, she would sit back down. And I got lucky. I was sitting next to the lady who was running the show, and I was like, "Wow, this fucking dude in the wheelchair is a really good actor. Like, how is he really paralyzed?" And she's like, "No, he's not." And I'm like, "His legs look like noodles. What do you mean? What do you mean he's not real? Like he really couldn't."
Committed.
I'm telling you, there was no. You ever look at someone who acts like they're paralyzed, and you're like, "I saw him flinch his leg." Now it's
faking
now
it.
The jig's up. This guy would sit in a cold bath for like 30 minutes and permanently numb his nerves
Oh
in
my
his
god.
body.
That's committed.
Like right before the show.
No, like on a weekly regimen. Like he would he would look up things to like how to lose circulation in your legs, how to numb. That's method acting.
That's method acting.
And I'm like, So we get an assignment from my teacher, and she goes, okay, so today we're going to learn how to be like clinically insane. And I'm like, I'm listening. And fucking, she goes, so we're going to try an exercise. I want you guys, before you come over to, because we all walk there, it's walking distance to most of us. But if
So it's next to the LA Fitness?
yeah, so it goes like my place, down there is LA Fitness, and then the walk of like the Star Walk of Fame is, you keep going straight, and then that's the building, the acting building. And there's like a Mexican Superman and a black Iron Man, like,
Absolutely.
take my picture.
Naturally, yeah.
Like fucking like
Obviously.
misfit, like weird superheroes, like for no reason,
That sounds about
scaring
right.
kids.
Yeah.
It's so healthy. But she's like, the exercise is you gotta walk 2 blocks. So like, let's say you're walking down here, you're walking 2 blocks to your car. You gotta walk 4 whole blocks. You gotta walk 1 block and think of the, you gotta walk 2 blocks and think of the most positive things you could possibly think of. And when you're looking at things, even if it's like a bad, like there could be a stabbing in the street, you'd have to think of something positive about it. And that's 2x. And then the next 2 blocks, you'd have to think of the most, like, what manic, depressing, angry,
The intrusive thoughts.
intrusive thoughts.
Fire.
Even like I was like walking, and I was like, okay, the first one, I was like, oh, this homeless guy is taking a shit in the street. If you gotta go, you gotta go. Boom, that was 1 block. The next block was like, oh my gosh, this girl's yelling at herself outside of a McDonald's. You know, she just wants to clear her head.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's getting herself right.
Right.
She's getting
Right.
it's
Motivational
self-care.
talk. Yeah.
Self-care
Yeah.
for this lady who's wearing just pants and no shoes. And then I gotta go negative. And I
That's
gotta,
so easy. Being a hater is so
and
easy.
I'm like walking past this 1
So
block,
much
and I'm
fun.
like, who the fuck's this guy walking his puppy? Who the fuck does he think he is, looking all
Stupid
puppy's
puppy.
looking all adorable, and I'll kick that thing. I had to think like that, and that was the exercise. And then like we would go to class, and I'm like, oh dude, I feel weird.
Yeah.
I hated that.
Yeah.
They try to make you, but it's how bad you want it.
What was like your best role that you got while being an actor?
I didn't. I got a bunch of pilots. What am I gonna lie to you about? I can't.
But any cool things or any fun commercials or anything? I mean, I know you're not like a movie star.
Damn.
I got a, oh fuck. I don't know why she wants to. She's like the whole interview. She's like, so, like, what was it like being a loser out there? And
I did not say that at all. I asked you what your best
What was that
role
like,
was.
though?
How do you and Lily know each other?
FSU,
Yeah.
We go way back. You came up and asked for my number,
of course,
and you were wearing a mullet, if I'm correct, probably that shirt.
like a themed party.
I think it was your senior bar crawl. And then you texted
yeah,
me.
She
dude.
thinks like she doesn't know exactly what he was
Casey
wearing.
dressed
like,
up like a lot of characters back
It
in the
was
day.
Miami Vice theme, and I just wanted to call it Cocaine Mullets, and like it won the majority vote. Everyone's like, yeah, dress Miami Vice theme like pink and white and like something like a Heat jersey. And I was like, nah, fuck that. I want to look like Joe Dirt with a fucking Hawaiian shirt and gold. And everyone was like, yeah, dude, dude, where can we get mullets?
Way cooler.
Yeah, we're all shotgunning Four Locos and just running around punching holes in standard bathroom.
There's
Fucking-
definitely like a couple
dope.
kids that were still like Miami Jersey.
Glorious.
Miami
That
Vice
sounds
jersey
like a movie, bro.
the whole time.
You're a fuck boy. If you wear a jersey at the bar, like, and there's no game on, you know what you're doing.
I mean,
There's no.
Nah, that was like an
Freshman year,
era
like,
though.
happy hour.
Like everyone did that shit.
come on, man.
Yo, let me hit biceps real quick and wear this fucking Golden State Warriors jersey, and I don't know a single player. Like, I'm like, nah, come on. We all done it though. We all
Everyone's done it. Yeah, yeah.
Like
we've all done it.
bullshit. Like
I'm not gonna like get both sides of the. I'm not gonna go one-sided. Fuck
Show up the
that.
pots in like khakis and like that jersey and some Air Forces, but you fell on top of the world. Like you
Yeah.
were like gonna fuck anything that walked by you. Then you just go home alone and
And that's how I met
and then
Lily.
method
I
act
fuck
about
anything.
In your bedroom.
kidding.
How do you come up with material, like for
Uh,
your jokes? Is any of it true? I always wonder that when I watch comedy. Like, did these things actually happen to these people?
You have to embellish in the sake of argument of like making it either more interesting or how you phrase it is more captivating, you know, and that's like the biggest thing because you don't want to come off as like being once immediately. I've done this before because I've thrown a story out where it's like it's like a hybrid of two and I want to make it more interesting. And I've watched an audience member completely watch and get so invested. And then I saw where she saw me lie about it. Oh. And then she was just like,
No.
And I was like, fuck. So then I went back to the lab.
Do you get heckled a lot? Like,
What?
I would say out of 10 shows, how many of them do you get like heckled in?
Not a lot of people heckle me.
Really? Because you're just like
Is
so
that a bad
good, or
thing?
do you
Is
think
he-
because
what is
everyone's scared?
heckling?
It's like when like you're just like doing shit, like saying stuff, and someone's just like you're terrible, or like gets mad, or like
Or someone's just
Oh.
talking shit while you're on
Yeah.
stage, basically.
Well, you always.
Not literally talking shit. It could be something nice.
they try to be
Right.
the comedian in the audience
Yeah,
while someone's
I've
on
done
stage.
that drunk on accident. I just like finished the
You
joke.
heckled the fuck out of my
I
show
know, sorry.
at Coconut Grove.
Me and Riley got a
She's
little
drinking
too drunk.
espresso martinis like it's water, and then all of a sudden she's just
Finishing the
"Hey!"
jokes.
There's like rhetorical moments where like some of the comedians are like, yeah, so I went to the DMV the other day. Anybody been to the DMV? And she's like, oh my God, I've been. Yes. And the guy's like,
So relatable.
and I watch him like lose his place in his
No, he did
story.
not. I felt terrible, honestly.
I mean, it's funny.
No, you didn't.
I like because I
no,
know
I didn't.
you.
No, I didn't. We
know
made it better. People loved us.
Yeah, I know you, and I just met that girl, but like both of you just.
There was also like a crowd of 8 people. Like we were just the only drunk, loud ones.
It's a good time, but hecklers can get owned. Some people don't know how to deal with it, and some people are really good at shutting it down, and then that makes the whole show stay on their. Like if you light somebody up in the crowd because you really care about trying to get through a joke, a lot of people see that and they're like, I don't want smoke. I don't want that fucking fire.
Right.
You know.
Shut the
You
fuck
do a
up
lot
and
of
listen.
crowd work, and I feel like that's got to be pretty tough too, because you don't know what their responses are going to be. Like, what if they say something and you're like, oh shit, I actually don't have a comment back to that. Like, you have to be pretty quick-witted.
Yeah, this one time I did that, and I started doing crowd work, and I started doing crowd work because I found it to be a more scapegoat, like an easier
Yeah.
thing. And that's just what it is, but it's also a trick of the trade where some good comedians won't know how to do a reactive live crowd work moment, and then it'll kind of be weird until they go back to their joke.
Right.
I started with that stuff, and then like this one guy, I was talking to him, I was like, oh, how'd you, like it was a segue into a family joke or something like mom and dad joke I had, and I was like, oh, like what are you with your dad? Like this guy kind of looked like they were partners, but he was like, no, this is my dad.
I was there for that.
At
Roxanne's.
No, it wasn't Roxanne's. It was this place called Brews Room. Shout out to Brews Room.
Oh, I know Bruiser Room.
Friggin'
This is
shout out
fire.
to
Sorry to
them.
cut you off.
No, it's that was a good time though. Roxanne's.
I mean,
Did
there
stand
was-
up on a pool table.
Oh,
And
that
there
is
was
cool.
that dad and his daughter.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, dude. That was.
They got torched.
I asked the guy if he watches porn, and I didn't know it was in front of his daughter. She looks like like a girlfriend, like a young girlfriend of his. And I was like, oh, you watch a lot of porn? He looks at her. He goes, on occasion. I was like, why did you look at her for approval? What the fuck's going? That's weird.
Oh my
He goes,
God.
this is my daughter. I'm like, she watches porn, I bet. Like, who gives a shit? And she's like, I do. And then she went to the bathroom. She's like, I don't want to, because I was engaging with her dad, and it was a whole thing. But I was like talking to this guy. I was like, oh, where's your mom? And the guy's like, she's dead.
So he definitely watches a lot of porn.
Oh, and I was like, yeah, a lot of necrophiliac mom stuff.
Oh, God.
No, but I
Oh,
was like,
yeah.
oh
Hell
shit.
yeah.
And then all of a sudden it got really tense because it's either you can land a joke after that or do some like, oh, okay, sorry for your loss, and then go into something But
I
was
feel like you have to land a joke after
nah,
that.
I was like, let's see where it goes. And then
So what'd you say?
I was like, all right, well, how'd she die? And she,
No way.
That's a brutal follow-up.
what's wrong with that though? It's almost like
Hunter. Hunter almost spit out his fucking water.
Spit out his water.
That's a brutal follow-up.
well, it's almost like having an interview with anybody. It's like elevator talk. It's like
Yeah, when I'm in the elevator, I talk
you
about
take a
deceased,
pause, you're like-
spouses all the time.
Yeah.
if it gets brought up, I'm not gonna shut it down. That's my MO. I don't fuck around like that.
Yeah.
I'm like, how'd she die? And he goes, oh, drug overdose. And he was smiling when he said it. I was like, this bitch kill his mom? Like, what the fuck's going on?
He's like loving that he's giving you this.
He's like, keep going. He's like giving me, like he was, and he's like, I was like, oh, dude, okay. Like now I'm like 0 for 2. I'm like losing, because I'm like, this, if I don't get a pop real soon, people are gonna be like, this is
Morbid.
morbid.
Yeah.
And so I was like, oh shit. So what was her drug of choice? And the kid goes, heroin. And I was like,
She probably looked
was like,
beautiful.
Sounded excited.
I was like, all right, well, man, that's a hell of a drug, man. That's.
It's got to be like closed casket, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, yeah, right, and I was like, that's a hell of a drug, and people started to like laugh because it's so awkward, and that was a funny for them. It was a funny response, and then it got really weird when the dad was like, yeah, like I don't even, because the dad chimed in, and I was like, oh, like so she died of a heroin overdose, and are you guys like, are you together? He's like, nah, fuck that bitch. I was like, holy shit, dude.
Father of the fucking year, man, in front of the kids.
And I was like, where were you when she died? And he was like, oh, I was in Ocala. I was
Doing
like,
heroin.
I was like, this sounds like a fucking murder story. Did you give her the heroin? And it went into like this whole like this investigation of their family, and then I had to get the fuck off the stage. But, you know, I just go into the uncomfortable shit, man. I
I feel
like
like that's the most fun. And we're gonna take a quick break. We have a word from our sponsor, and that sponsor is us, because we don't have any real sponsors yet. So enjoy the ad.
Adrian, it's finally summer.
Yeah, it's hot out, but you know.
What's that?
Yo, it's nice out.
What's that?
It's the Yifno truck.
So, whoa, excuse me.
What can I get you boys? What flavor you want? Chocolate, vanilla, or blueberry? We got you guys.
Bitch, on my dick, I got money now. I got a hoe in like every town. I make it pop in the underground. We going up and you know it now. Green in my pockets and in my lungs.
Welcome back to Serving Sunshine. Hope you guys enjoyed that ad. So we're coming around again?
Coming.
Coming hard.
I was gonna ask, in your early days of comedy, I feel like everybody goes through a stage where they bomb on stage. What was that like for you, and like how did you recover? Or did you just walk off, like this is the end, I just gotta go?
Nah, man, that's fucking. Everybody bombs. I don't know. I just ate a dick on fucking. What was it, Thursday? It's just what it is. It's just like not.
Pause.
You gotta bombing. You can't like, depending on if like bombing, like I bombed the whole set or bombed pretty hard and then come back or did just all right. It's almost like you can weigh it out based on. But at the end of the day, everybody who bombs is like gonna be a better person.
Right.
I mean, you get rejected talking to someone you're interested in. You lose a sale. You don't want to sit there and be like, ooh, I don't think I'd ever do this again. Well, I mean, go for it.
Yeah. I will say it's probably really an intense feeling because you're on stage and it's like almost kind of personal in a way, rather than like losing a sale. I feel like that's not as overwhelming as like people are watching me kind of suck at this for a second.
Yeah, well,
It takes a lot to come back, I guess. is what
Overcome
I'm
an
saying.
obstacle.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
how I see it. Like, I mean, that's anything in life, though. You fuck up and, like, don't, I mean, for lack of better words, like, stop being a pussy. Like, don't be a pussy and not do it again. I mean, you need to, like, accumulate
It's like a
as
weeding
many
out
fuck-ups
process,
as you
too.
can, and then you're going to get good at something at some point. Or you're just going to suck for a while. But
yeah, you just gotta keep going.
Have you bombed yet?
No,
yeah, I don't know why
not
he's so
yet.
quiet.
Yeah,
over
what's
there.
up with you, man?
He's
Let's-
stand up.
Yeah, this is a
He told-
comedian over here.
He told me off.
I haven't
when we came
bombed
back.
yet, but I've only done
At
it
a
like 3
break.
times.
You went up 3 times.
Yeah, I haven't done it like a lot, but I haven't bombed
But did you
yet.
bomb out of the 3? Is there one bomb?
No, there was one I think that wasn't as good as the other ones, but that's just because I think I'm too smart for everyone in the audience, so they didn't get it.
So you've bombed.
Yeah.
That
The short answer.
Yeah.
Yes,
that
I'm
tells me.
bummed.
Yeah.
He's had a
I mean,
couple.
no, but it happens, but it does feel more personal because it's like, I wrote this specifically to make
Mm.
you laugh, and everyone's like not laughing, and they're just like, yo, you fucking suck. And it's
No,
like,
that's what a bomb is. That's
Yeah.
A bomb is
Yeah,
like
so-
there's no response. Yeah. So that's happened to you. How did you feel? I want to know how you felt. Naked.
Afraid?
No, it wasn't naked. It wasn't even, it was just like, I don't know, I was just kind of like, none of you have the balls to get up and do this, so
No,
like, I didn't really
facts.
feel bad about myself, like, doing it.
Yeah.
But it was definitely like a kick in the nuts, like an ego check, where it's like, I'm so fucking funny, and like, you have all these people looking at you, and just like, with the looks of like, what a waste of time watching this was, and it's just like, you kind of feel like shit, but it's like, you gotta get up and just be funny next time. You learn from like, what's good and what's not, and like, how to like, deliver it, I guess,
Yeah.
is what it would be.
Yo, have your parents ever gone to any of your shows?
Yeah.
How'd that go?
Last Thursday, I had my whole family go. I had 20 people that I knew went. Bro, some of the fucking things that they have never known about me, they knew. They knew that. I was like, I talked about like eating mushrooms and like going kayaking and like doing like getting fired from a job and doing some outlandish, like running with the bulls in Spain, doing all this like crazy shit, and they're all like staring at, like instead of laughing, they were finding out about me.
Yeah, which is horrifying.
And they're and I like, you know when you're getting good head, and like like my grandma sitting 5 feet away from me can relate to this, and she's just like, oh, what the? I've never heard you
Casey.
say that. Yeah, and then I dialed it back. I felt like I felt like Conor McGregor kicked me in the stomach, and I was like golly, like this girl's seen me like my mom, she's seen me as a 1-year-old, and I got in my head, I don't want to invite my family to all of my stuff anymore because it's a little too raunch. Like my dad's moms, they're not lesbian, but they're one was divorced and remarried, so he's got stuck with 2 moms, you know, and they're like Vero Beach, very nice, and they're like, well, we love this, like, we love this guy, and he's just he talks about his family and all the conundrums he gets into, and are you like that? Do you talk about? I'm like, yeah, I'm like that. Fuck yeah, you want to see my show? I'm like, Grandma, don't come. Don't.
So what was the reviews after they came to
Don't
the show?
come. What?
What was the reviews after they came to the show?
My family?
Yeah.
They were like, you did good. I was like, yeah, you fucking. Because you can't be yourself, really, if you're.
I feel like if your family, like let's say your parents, your mom, your grandma, if they like your comedy, it's probably not that good.
Yeah, they're supposed to hate it.
Nah, that's false, because there's a fake support and a real support. They can laugh, they can like your brand because they like you, right? The if-no, they can
Right.
like that because they like you. But then they can like it to be like, oh shit, this is a
Next
very
level.
nice material. This is and you see without the bullshit reason of liking it. Make sense?
Yeah.
like you can hit a nerve. Like my grandma, like I had this joke about my Uncle Carlos, and he's Venezuelan, and he is like, so like I'm Italian, like my mom's side's Italian, on my dad's side's like country, southern, hunting, fishing, loving everyday type shit. And then my aunt decides to marry a Venezuelan guy. And she fell in love with him in like South Beach, and then he was like a bartender at Mango's.
Oh my God.
It's a crazy story.
Modern day
Sounds like
love
a fucking
story.
movie.
Yeah.
It's a crazy story, but she dated this. She was with this guy, and like he's the man. He's so funny, but he's broken English, and so I told my whole family this joke, and it leveled them. There was because we're watching the UFC fights, and he's like big into American culture, and he loves the fucking. He's just started getting into the cage matches, and he's like, come over, man. I got a Prime. I got this pay-per-view. We're gonna watch it.
Pay-per-view.
And yeah, I've never the pay-per-view, BIEW.
Yeah, right.
and he goes, we're gonna watch this. I go, okay, cool. So I get there, and I'm like a little like it's like 6 minutes before the main event, and I'm like let's come on, let's. I go over there. He's like yelling at his TV, and he's yelling at his smart remote, and he's trying to get the fights on. He's like, I'm getting the fights, and they're not working. The fucking thing, you don't want to listen to me. I'm like, what fucking thing? He's the smart remote. You don't want to listen to me, and it sucks. It's bullshit. It's crap. And I was like, all right, well, try talking into it. He goes, I'm telling you, it's not gonna listen. I go, try. He goes, watch. UFC. He don't want to turn on the UFC fight, and I was like, all right, well. And it goes further, but it's just like there's like funny little stuff like that my family genuinely was like, that's funny. And then when I start talking about like, you know, getting catfished by like a girl in a wheelchair on Bumble and stuff, they're like, oh, that's
Cute.
okay. He's trying his job.
So it's hit or miss.
Yeah.
Where it's like if you would see it, you're laughing your ass off and pissing your pants. And when my mom and dad, like when they see it, my grandma, my uncle, my aunt, they don't want to encourage, like, cause it's like a pure thing. It's like when you're with your family, like if you're very family oriented, it's you eat together, you've lived a long history to know each other, and you want the best for everybody, and you think positive all the time. The moment you go up there and start saying, they'll look at it as negative stuff. It's a hard filter to process
Right.
when you're talking about cum jokes.
Yeah, I saw that happen that first show we did, and I invited my mom and my friend's mom to go see the first comedy show that we threw.
Oh yeah.
You weren't there for it.
Yeah,
but,
yeah.
But I was looking over at my mom's face when some of the comedians were on. We're like,
And what'd you
when Chuck
see?
Francis was on,
Right.
like, and some of the jokes when they were talking about cum jokes, talking about drug jokes, everything. All I just saw on my mom's face was like that. Just
Yeah, like, I
just
haven't-
like shaking her head, and I looked at her and I was like, kind of funny though, right?
Yeah,
And she
cum
was like,
cum
no.
exists. Like she's trying to like process.
Nah, she's got a good sense of humor. Though.
Like I have a
She laughed
joke
at most of
about
the stuff.
fucking my dad, like in my stand-up, and like I never invite my parents to anything. No, yeah. Like,
You should say it right now.
No, but so like I'd never invite my parents to that because like there's just no need for him to ever hear
'Cause
that.
you don't
That
want your
joke.
dad to know. You
I don't think
No,
you'll
it's
like
fuck
that
not.
one.
No, it just wasn't that. But like my friends like ended up telling him, they're like, "Oh, hey, like you hear your son is like talking about like penetrating you or like normal stuff." I'm just like, he was just like looked at me. He was like, "What the fuck? Like, can I hear the joke?" So I told him, and he's just like, "We don't have sex." I was like, "Yeah, Dad. Like I fucking know. Like we don't have sex, but like it's just like you're never gonna come to one of these ever."
Can you? Yeah, but he does. All
no
over
pun
your
intended.
face. Can you?
He doesn't like the kiss and tell. That's I think. That's
Can
why
you
it's upset.
tell the joke, or you don't want to like, you don't want to burn it on the thing?
I don't want to burn it on the thing, honestly.
Okay, because it's I do that, and then I'll tell like, if I have to say a joke, and I'll just say the subject of it. People, it's like when you say something to somebody, and then they say something back, and you're like, you know what? Nah. And you're like, oh, why? Oh, you ordered a lot of packages.
Yeah. So when you do
No,
come
keep
up with
going.
new material, do you have anybody that you go to be like, hey, is this funny? Or is it just like
That's wild.
No, that's what the open mic's for. That's what the other comics are for. That's what your
Sorry,
friends are for. Is that sound on the Calm app?
That was
Resume.
I go to sleep with
Yes, that's.
every time, man? Every time.
Should we blast that for these yogis over here?
Just the recorded
I
part of
just
it.
want you guys to hear squeaking wheels.
I think everyone who does
I
yoga
just
is so
hear
full
the
of shit.
squeaking wheels with no WD-40 at all. just find your zen by nails
They're
on
so
the
full of
chalkboard.
shit.
Nails
They're
on
not
a
doing
chalkboard.
anything. I think they go out and
They're
do yoga
stretching and relaxing.
just to tell people they did yoga and they meditated when they're thinking they're not.
Yoga people are
What is that
freaks.
doing? They're
Do
freaks.
you
In
see
a
what's
good way.
going on lately with the whole submarine situation?
Oh my God,
The
no.
little Einsteins?
No.
Fuck
yeah.
yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah, me neither.
I don't give a shit. I don't care. I just talked to somebody about this last night. I like can't entertain something that I'm not. It's, you know what it is? You know why people are so invested? Because their lives are boring.
It's just like, sorry.
I'm all right. She's on her phone.
I know.
No, these guys are just talking shit about the submarine. No, it's okay.
Yeah, I think it was pretty like shot of them to even go on that submarine, and they got bolted shut, which I understand because of the pressure of the water. But
All right, you guys, we're all. This is the gift and the curse of having this, because you gotta. It's a public space.
Every tragic
Right.
event is a comedy opportunity. Every single one. So like you see submarine, you're thinking about all the jokes you're gonna write about it, and like it kind of helps out. Like being alive during 9/11 must have been gold for like all of the people that like.
Motherfucker, we were alive during 9/11.
Yeah, but not real. I mean, I was only like 2 or 3.
How old are you, Casey?
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm 28. For the listeners out
Oh,
there,
we're all 25.
To think that I'm 48.
Yeah.
I mean, you looked 30 in college.
I'm weathered.
You did.
I'm weathered.
You
yeah.
did.
I look like. I've
seasoned
always
vet.
looked
vet,
like an
yeah.
undercover cop since kindergarten. I've always looked like a grown. What's this guy doing in this environment? Old man. But back to the submarine. Let's dive in.
No pun intended.
Little line signs, that's gold. You should use that.
Okay. I've heard this, so I don't want to say that I'm citing a source or anything, but I get a lot of speculation, and my friends and I talk about it, because I don't care enough to do the research. But one of my friends just told me, is this true? I don't know if you guys saw it, but is there they found debris,
Right.
right? So they're confirmed dead people.
Yeah.
Okay, but before that, they went down there, and it's how long? They said it was 10 hours to get to the Titanic.
I have no clue.
Okay, so I heard it was 10 hours. They were going down there on a 10-hour trip, and they brought no snacks and no drinks. And
So they knew they were gonna die.
And there's
Conspiracy.
5 people, and there's 1 toilet with a curtain. This is all right. And if you want to fact check me and be a fucking crazy jerk and whatever, fucking no skin off my cock. If you look at this, how are you gonna go down there? 10 hours. I've been on a 7-hour flight, and I needed a bag of peanuts and a water.
100%.
I needed it because why? I'm fucking parched, and that to me is a cock and bull story to tell me that, oh yeah, they just want to explore for 10 hours real quick, and it's 10 hours back. Whether you even divide it, it's 5 hours. I don't know how long the journey is. 5 hours there, 5 hours back, 10 hours there, 10 hours, so it's 20 or 10. You got to have snacks. You can't drive to Tallahassee for 7 hours with no
So
snacks.
you're really caught up on the snacks. The fact that they did not
No, I
have
agree with
peanuts
that.
in.
That's a huge piece of evidence to say that it's bullshit.
What's bullshit though?
That I don't
The
think
whole
it's-
thing?
I don't know if it's real or not.
You did a bunch
submarine,
of
like,
research.
Did they?
I'm
I
saying
feel like
you've
he gets his
done
news
way
from
more
Nick at
research
Night.
than me. I get all my news
I-
facts from
it's a hot take.
Instagram
Like
accounts.
they didn't have peanuts the whole
Legitimately.
time.
I mean, it does kind of make sense.
Dude,
Whatever.
this
I
is
mean,
insane.
Whatever, man. I'm with the chair. I'm
with the
I'm
chair.
yelling at
Yeah.
this conversation here because I don't. Not that I don't. All right. If there's real families and they got hurt and whatever and they're pissed, all right.
Of course, it's so sad.
But dude, I just I'm a fucking.
I mean, one of their sons went to a Blink-182 concert like 2 days after it went missing.
No.
Right.
what?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
posted on Twitter. He got in an argument with Cardi B too. It sounds made
Cardi
up.
B was like,
Sounds made up.
get that bitch. get that bitch out of here. And then fucking they snatched him. He's an Amber Alert.
Yeah. I mean, it was an argument on Twitter, like popping off.
But they're just, don't come.
Where's the best place to see comedy in South Florida, in your opinion?
Where?
Yeah.
In
if people were
Bar
like, I'm
27.
Well, that's true. Second best.
The Improv?
Is that
Dania
in
Beach?
Doral?
Genius.
Well, like South Florida, I mean, if you're counting South Florida, it's all the improvs except for, rest in peace to the West Palm Improv. They cut it down. They're going to relocate. Fucking Bodega on Wednesdays. You want to come there and see some real entertainment with some people trying new dick jokes and Special Olympic jokes? Bodega in West Palm and or Delray. And then, Dania Beach Improv, Miami Improv, Tipsy Flamingo in Miami if you're feeling frisky and want to cheat on your girlfriend and bring her, your side piece. And then, what?
Which is the one in the Grove?
The Taurus, Coconut Grove. Expensive espresso martinis, but every girl you buy it for is worth it. And then 27
You get drinks for free there.
I do not get drinks for free there.
Well, thank you.
It just looks like it because you don't see me signing shit. Oh, this guy's so nice. They're just lobbing, like fucking ciphering gas out of a hose trying to
Like,
get
what do you
home.
want to drink? Like
Some 18
espresso
espressos in the hole with my credit card. They're thinking it's fraud. And then 27 Bar Lounge.
We are
God damn it.
hosting those. OTS comedy.
Yeah.
Cheers. So, I mean, this is something we ask every guest. What does YIFNO mean to you?
Yo, it's flipping nice out. YIFNO means to me that, I think YIFNO is a conversation that you have with somebody when someone makes an awkward joke about, or an awkward, like if you're at a pregame and it gets political and like, yo, dude, no, how can you say that? The AOC, this and that. And then it like dies down. You're like, yo, it's fucking nice out. Fucking, do you guys want to like grab a couple of these to go and like sit by the pool? That's what I think YIFNO means. like a conversation chat. Like a how about them Cowboys?
Just using the situation.
Yeah. Dude, what's your stance on abortion? No, what's your stance? Yo, it's fucking nice.
Nice out.
It's nice out. You guys wanna and then that brings them together.
There you go.
Thus creating the brand
Right.
to keep everyone in peace and harmony.
I love it.
YIFNO
I love it.
2024.
I appreciate you coming on today.
Yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, you guys are witnessing one of the top comedians in South Florida, in my opinion, that I've seen. Not
In
to,
the Miami-Dade
not to give
area.
you
Yeah,
too much credit, But
Appreciate it.
this man's going places. This is our second episode. We might just cancel it after this one.
If it doesn't
Maybe
cancel
not.
us.
So to all 5 people watching, thank you
Who made
for
it this
tuning
far.
in, and have a great fucking day.
Yo, it's fucking nice out. Yeah, I like that. I like YIFNO. That was pretty sick.